So today I want to tell you a story about my son, Grayson. So my son, at 19 months old was still nonverbal, and I was worried about that. I could tell that he almost knew what he wanted to say, and yet nothing but gibberish would come out of his mouth. And we actually nicknamed him Bam Bam. He was just the type of kid that just ran all day, so busy. I'm pulling him, off of counters and out of drawers and chasing him around the house. Also so busy, the only way I could get him to eat was to, stop him in front of, the table and shove a fork in his mouth real quick. And all of this while not ever learning how to communicate. He wasn't interested in sign language, which I had done successfully with his sister. Never heard mama. We never heard dada. We didn't hear anything. He just was nonverbal. And so at about 19 months old, I had him evaluated, and fortunately, he was evaluated by someone who specialized in something called childhood apraxia of speech. So you see, in utero, part of Grayson's brain didn't develop. A very small part of the brain that develops between the 8th and 9th week gestation that controls the way speech comes out of the mouth. And unfortunately, the issue that everybody always wonders is, are apraxic children learning? Because if they're never able to express what they learn, how do we know? Regardless, he went into therapy, speech therapy that is. We had that twice a week at the house with an apraxia specialist. And twice a week I was taking him to the Ball State speech and pathology departments. Fast forward, after 3 years of speech therapy, he's now 5. We had a little bit of speech come out, but nothing that made him ready for school. And by chance, through my marketing company, I was referred to a neurofeedback clinic for a website. And I was learning everything that they do, and it piqued my interest as to, could this be the hope that my son Gray needed to have somewhat of a normal life? When you have that thick of a speech impediment, I worried about him. I worried about him on job interviews. I worried, that the old lady at the grocery store was, asking me every time, what's wrong with him? And there was nothing wrong with him. Cognitively, he was completely intact. Physically, completely intact. Everything was perfect. He was a healthy child, but he couldn't communicate at all. So we enrolled him in neurofeedback training. He completed 25 sessions at another clinic. And after that very first session was the first time my child sat on his pockets for an entire meal and had dinner with his family. He looked me in the eye, and after 2 or 3 sessions, the word mama started to come out of his mouth. And if I could just tell you how good that feels after 5.5 years at this point. All the speech started to just flow out. And what we quickly learned was that he actually was learning all those years in speech therapy. He just had no way to get it out of his fast brain. You see, his brain waves were not going, in the directions that they were supposed to. They were going all over the place and at such a fast speed. Everything that went in just got fragmented and spun off on a conveyor belt, so to speak. So he couldn't form those thoughts into speech to get them out. Well, by the end of those 25 sessions, he definitely could talk, and he definitely had a lot to say. So we fast forward a few more years. He was still struggling with anxiety and was having issues in school with ADHD, very common diagnoses that a lot of children with apraxia either have or gain a little later in life. And I knew that Grayson was going to need ongoing therapy to help keep his brain in memory of what was happening and to keep that speech flowing. But I'm happy to report now that Grayson is 10 years old. He speaks just as well, if not better, than his peers. He reads, he writes, and as of last year, he is on target academically with every single one of his peers. And I no longer have to worry about him not succeeding in an interview or being gainfully employed, or more importantly, people asking him all the time, what's wrong with you? And that to me has been such an empowerment for him that we need to offer this to as many people as we possibly can. And it's you have to have this. It's my mission to make sure everyone has access to neurofeedback training. Neurofeedback is painless, it's non-invasive. There's absolutely nothing that goes to your brain. We're not mad scientists back here programming certain things to make your brain fire in a certain way. Your brain knows what to do. And when it's given rewards for the right things, it learns to do those more, and the bad things less. All in all, most folks see drastic improvement, if not full improvement, of the symptoms they came in with in less than 40 sessions. Each session is a half an hour. That's 20 hours of your time. So if your child struggles with speech or anxiety or even ADHD, come on in and let's see if this natural, safe solution can work for your child.